Hi everybody, this is Jay from Pinoy Steel, and I have two beautiful balisongs to show you today. Both of these were made by some of the best craftsmen in Batangas today, and they are exceptionally beautiful. Not only that, they were hand finished and hand polished right here by me, and that just makes them even better than they were coming from the makers. Traditionally in Batangas, these would have been done by hand, but in more recent years, well, they are still done by hand, but they use grinding wheels and buffing wheels instead of just using files and whetstones. A couple other things are different with these. You won't find anything else like this anywhere else, pretty much. The first one has Tasmanian Blackwood inserts. This wood is actually from Tasmania itself, of course, and I personally imported it. It has incredible chatoyancy and flame. Second one here has aerospace grade carbon fiber inserts, which are exceptionally beautiful. Again, these have been hand finished at 1500 grit, which makes them extremely smooth and soft. Well, not soft, but slick and not too slick. I sometimes take them up to 2000 grit. 1500 grit, smooth but not excessively slick. And hand finishing these inserts makes them fit just better in every way. The bolster to insert fits better. The liner or housing fit is better as well. It's a substantial improvement over the traditional way of doing things. Well, what has become the traditional way in recent years. So this first one here has stainless bolsters and what we call a dari blade. Dari are used for cockfighting. You have two tang pins here, which is not standard. It allows for better lockup in both the open and closed positions, and these pins are extra thick. They're not usually this thick. They're also flatter than usual, which is good. It makes them more durable and prevents them from deforming with heavy use. That was actually something I specially requested on these when talking to the makers, because I feel they make the knives just that much better. So this one's deeply hollow ground, which makes it a mean slicer. It's not a zero edge, if you can see that. The edge angle is slightly wider at the bottom, which makes it significantly tougher. When manipulating these, the edge would hit the inside of the liners. The liners are hand formed using a file. They're hammered around a file or other something else with that kind of shape. Usually it is a file nowadays, and that's how they're formed. And these guys are absolute experts at doing it. It's not easy to do and to pull off. The housings are stainless steel, which is absolutely the most durable choice, and it's not as heavy as the brass that was traditionally used. Construction's riveted, if you can see that. There are copper pins on the inside, copper pins through the inserts to hold them in place. You have pins in here as well. This first one here, Tasmanian Blackwood, is double pinned. Each one of the bolsters has 2 pins in it. And the same is true for the carbon fiber. Normally they only have 1 pin in there, which means they sometimes come off, but it's a relatively easy fix if you're good with your hands. And I use epoxy myself, JB epoxy, which is steel epoxy, and it's nice and strong. It makes for a good hold. Okay, the first one's pretty much ready to flip. Has a nice tang in there, good for pressure point applications. It's a little more pointed than usual. This one has more of a standard tang. This one's going to need some breaking in, which is standard for FHMs. They do need breaking in. And FHM is a Filipino handmade, if you're not familiar with them. You probably are, if you've come across this video. Okay, the one on top is 36.1 centimeters long, which is extremely long. It's about 14.1 inches, I think. It weighs in at 6.8 ounces, and it has a couple of light pits on the blade, which I'll show you in just a second. Well, I'll try to. The one on the bottom is 28.7 centimeters. 29 centimeters is the classic length for 29, which is now one of the most popular sizes and is considered the classic size. It hasn't always been, but it has been for the last 30 or 40 years maybe. Although many people prefer the smaller ones at around 24 centimeters or 9.5 inches. Yep, so this one's a little bigger than normal for a lot of people, but it is considered around the classic size, and I personally prefer them in this size range because I have fairly large hands. Carbon fiber one is extra slim. It's only 4 ounces, which makes it very lightweight and easy to carry. And carbon fiber really fits beautifully after being hand finished. It looks incredible too. When they finish them the normal way, you get buffing compound and metal dust trapped in the wood or trapped in the carbon fiber, and they're not as even. Nothing is really as even as hand finishing something. Well, I guess you could do a better job with a machine, but my hand finishing has substantially improved both, and I'm very happy with my work. I do this pretty much every day, and it's a lot of work, but I'm proud to be able to work with these beautiful knives and offer them to you. So let me see if I can show you the pits on the first one. I've just buffed and hand polished these, so you can't really see anything on this side. Just a little one right there. Camera might not even pick it up, but it's there. It's just a little tiny line. Well, a couple lines right there. I don't think the camera is going to be able to pick them up. There you go. Well, that's just dust that you can see there. On this side, again, it's just a very, very minor pitting. And these are carbon steel blades, 5160 leaf spring, which has been hand forged to shape and then ground down. And yeah, they will rust on you if you don't take care of them, or if you look at them wrong even, but you have to keep them oiled, and I always keep mine oiled to prevent this from happening. And if you want them to stay rust free, that's the way to do it. But a lot of people do like a little patina on their carbon steel blades. They feel it gives them character, and a lot of older ones do have this. Running out of time here, so I'm gonna switch over to the bouillon, or the buoy. It's a very thin blade with a long, shallow swedge. It's not sharpened, this wedge. Beautifully ground. This is better ground than a lot of high-end customs you'll find out there. The guys who make these really are the best. No one else. Well, there are a couple of guys making balisongs who do make good ones nowadays, and I'm proud to say I work with all of the best guys. It's a labor of love. It really is. To make something really turn out the way you want to, because it's very easy to mess one of these up. Anyone who's ever ground a blade knows it takes a lot of control to do it by hand, and a lot of skill. So yeah, this is based on the original Spanish buoy design, but with a modern twist. Nice aggressive look, and coupled with the carbon fiber, it's really beautiful. As is the Tasmanian Blackwood. This is some of the nicest Blackwood I've ever seen. I'm going to show the dealer I got this from, how they turned out in a little bit. Well, thank you for looking. I have about 30 seconds left before the time runs out. Hope you like them, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me at sales@pinoysteel.com. You can also check out my website at pinoysteel.com and my blog at pinoysteel.tumblr.com. Tumblr spelled Tumbler. Okay, thanks for looking.